Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinar Update. Let me ask you something right away. If I told you that the Iraqi dinar is quietly being prepared to step onto the global financial stage, would you stay for the next few minutes? Because what I'm about to share is not rumor, not recycled forum talk, and not wishful thinking. This is about real financial processes taking place behind the scenes, the kind of processes that only happen when a currency is being positioned for international participation. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what is changing, why it matters, and how to stay prepared without falling for hype. Now, let's slow down and talk clearly. For years, Iraqi dinar holders have lived in a world filled with speculation, message boards, forwarded voice notes, insider claims, sudden date predictions, and then disappointment when nothing happens. That cycle has worn people out. I understand that. Many of you have held through silence, doubt, and frustration. But today, we focus on something different. We focus on process, real-world financial process, because currencies do not suddenly transform overnight. They go through structured preparation, banking alignment, compliance upgrades, liquidity positioning, and institutional coordination. That is exactly what we are seeing signs of right now. So first, what does it actually mean when we say a currency is being prepared for broader global market participation? In simple terms, it means the financial system surrounding that currency is being upgraded so international banks can recognize it, process it, settle it, and trade it under global financial standards. This is not a switch you flip, it is a sequence of steps. Let's walk through those steps one by one. The first step is liquidity organization. A currency cannot operate in international systems unless verified quantities exist inside regulated banking channels. That means domestic banks must report holdings correctly, reserve structures must be standardized, and settlement capacity must be measurable. Without that, global banks will not touch the currency. The second step is system compatibility. Banking software, transaction messaging formats, anti-fraud protocols, and compliance reporting must meet international rules. If systems cannot talk to each other across borders, trading cannot happen. So upgrades and testing take place quietly before any public announcement. The third step is institutional recognition. Foreign correspondent banks, clearing institutions, and settlement partners must agree to recognize and process the currency. This is where trust is built, and trust is everything in global finance. The fourth step is controlled testing. Limited pilot exchanges, internal transfers, and restricted trial settlements are conducted to confirm stability. Only after these stages succeed does public-scale access become possible. This is the reality of currency integration. Slow, technical, methodical, but real. Now, here is why this matters for Iraqi dinar holders. For many years, the dinar remained largely contained within local and regional use. Limited external accessibility meant limited international demand. But when a currency begins moving toward international processing capability, something important happens. Credibility begins to grow, and credibility is the foundation of long-term value. This is not about instant revaluation. Serious investors understand that value growth in currency markets comes from confidence, stability, and usability. When global institutions see a currency becoming operationally compatible, they begin to pay attention, and attention is what eventually drives demand. Now, let's address the question everyone always asks. Does this mean the dinar will suddenly explode in value? The honest answer is no, not suddenly. That is not how legitimate financial markets function. What this means is that the foundation is being built for market-driven valuation in the future, and that is a very different thing from rumor-based hype. Real financial progress is quiet. It is paperwork. It is system upgrades. It is compliance verification. It is interbank coordination. When those things are happening, serious movement is underway, even if there is no dramatic headline yet. Now, let's talk about what holders should actually be doing during this phase. First, secure your holdings. Ensure your dinar is held through legitimate, regulated financial channels. Avoid informal dealers or unverified exchange offers. If the system moves forward, verified channels will be the only ones recognized. Second, stay connected to official information. Central bank notices, government financial releases, and recognized banking announcements carry weight. Social media screenshots do not. Third, understand verification procedures. When international systems activate, identity verification, documentation, and compliance checks will be part of the process. Knowing this ahead of time prevents panic later. Fourth, maintain patience. Financial transitions move in phases. Those who rush, chase rumors, or act emotionally often lose position. Those who stay calm stay ready. Now, let's shift perspective for a moment. This process is not only about holders, it is also about Iraq as a country. A currency that participates in global systems strengthens national credibility. It attracts foreign business. It improves trade settlement. It modernizes banking infrastructure. And it positions the economy for long-term integration with international markets. That benefits citizens, businesses, investors, and yes, long-term dinar holders. Now, some people will say, I've heard progress claims before. How is this different? The difference is that system-level preparation leaves traces. Banking software upgrades, compliance alignment, interbank coordination, liquidity structuring. These are expensive, complex actions that institutions do not perform without purpose. When those steps occur, something real is happening. And that is why we focus on process, not predictions. Let's also talk about risk management, because serious investors think in risk, not dreams. Political changes can slow timelines. Administrative delays can occur. External economic pressures can shift priorities. That is normal in large-scale financial operations, which is why responsible holders stay informed but flexible. They prepare, but they do not gamble emotionally. Now, let's bring this together. The Iraqi dinar is entering a phase of structural readiness. Banking systems are aligning with international standards. Liquidity frameworks are being organized. Institutional relationships are being established. Testing and verification stages are occurring. This is not an overnight event. It is a long-form financial transition, and transitions like this are how real currency markets evolve. Now, I want to speak directly to the long-time holders. Many of you have waited for years. You've watched channels, you've heard bold claims, you've seen disappointment cycles. I understand the fatigue, but real progress is not loud. It is systematic, it is procedural, and it is exactly the kind of movement that builds sustainable outcomes. This phase is about positioning, about readiness, about building a bridge between a local currency and international financial infrastructure. When that bridge is complete, opportunities open, but the bridge must be built properly first. So, here is the key takeaway. Do not chase hype. Do not trust secret rates. Do not follow anonymous insiders. Follow structure. Follow official process. Follow verification. That is how real currency transitions succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the phase of preparation. Not speculation, not rumor, preparation. And when preparation is complete, results follow naturally. If you found this update helpful, stay connected for continued verified coverage as this process unfolds. Subscribe so you do not miss the next structured report. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining Dinar Update. Stay informed, stay grounded, stay ready. I'll see you in the next video.